Get ready to find your recipe for a successful real estate lifestyle from America's top experts here at Greenlight REI with your host, Lance Edwards.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Greenlight REI with your host, Lance Edwards. And today I have this is the episodes that are my absolutely favorite episodes to do on a podcast topic, and that is speaking to a successful client, a successful student who's just done a deal, usually their first deal. And today we have with them Mr. Gary Wallace out from California, the West Coast. Welcome, Gary.
Hello. Nice to be with you.
And it is so super to have you here. And this man's walking proud right now. He just bought a 55-unit property from California out in Sioux City, Iowa. And we'll talk about how he chose Sioux City here in a moment, perhaps. But property he bought, an apartment building, his very first apartment building, and we're going to be talking to him about that and the process he went through, why he's doing it, and how you maybe should be doing the same thing. So, Gary, I want to let's start off with how did you pick Sioux City, Iowa? You're sitting out there in West Coast. What drew you to Sioux City, Iowa, on this property?
Well, for me, it was all about cash flow. I mean, I'm involved in a lot of projects here in California. I think you're aware. You know, I build Class A apartment buildings here in California, and it's just a good equity position, and it's strong income, but it doesn't necessarily have the income I was looking for personally. So I've done a lot of research along with the coaching that I received from your program. Talked it over with people within your organization, and really felt that the Midwest was where I needed to be based on just the strong cash flow and the cost per unit. So it was really the money that would have to come in on a cost per unit basis and the cash flow that I'd get against that. So that's really how I made that determination. So.
All right, very good. Now as you say, you've been building apartment buildings. So how long have you been building apartment buildings, Gary?
Well, I've been in the construction industry side of things for almost 30 years. Got onto the developer side about 6 years ago, and I'm a director of construction for a developer. And we build high-density residential. I've been doing that I've been building apartments probably for 25 years, but working for a developer for 6.
So I imagine when you've been building apartments for 25 years, you must have been buying them for yourself for about 24 years. Is that right?
No, not at all. It always scared me. Too big, right? That's for the big boys. And that's kind of what, I'm sure we'll get into this deeper, but I read your book, and, I've worked with enough of these developers, and I've oftentimes come home over the years telling my wife, these guys aren't that smart. I'm smarter than they are, and why am I not doing this? And it was always the fear holding me back. And to be honest, also my wife was she's a risk adverse person, and she was always the naysayer that I start thinking this is the right thing to do. I know it. I need to do it. And then I'd have her in the back of my mind, no, this is all the stuff that could go wrong, so I would just kind of put it aside and say, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I shouldn't do it. And I talk myself back out of it. So, but reading your book and then doing the boot camp, and then eventually just making sure, making me think, why am I not doing this? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing enough that, that I know I should be doing it. So it was fears holding you back. What were some of the, was there one particular fear of something that was holding you back, or was it multiple fears? How would you describe it? Because I'm sure a lot of people are relating to this right now, Gary. Oh, there's fear on top of fear for sure. I mean, there's definitely multiple fears, but the biggest just being the fear of loss, right? And it's just the money I put in. Do I actually get money back out of this? Will I see my money, and will I make money? I mean, not only will I make money, but will I even get my money back? Will I lose money? Yeah. Will I have to keep plowing money back into this thing, or whatever? So like I said, there's a ton of different fears along the way at different points in time in the deal or getting involved. I mean, there's fear all the way through and different types of fear, but fear of loss would probably be the biggest one that kept me from doing what I should be doing.
All right, and that's like a fear of loss, fear of making a mistake. So you had this fear for years. So what was the driving force? What was the compelling event, Gary, that finally, enough's enough? I want to do something about this. What happened?
Well, honestly, it'd have to be, like I said, I've been investing in single family homes here and there and dabbling, I guess. But like I said, reading the book, your book, and getting involved in the program, doing the boot camp, getting involved in the program, just really lit a fire under my butt, if you want to call it that. I mean, what I saw in your program and getting invested in the program was there was a soup to nuts path to follow. So it was kind of like, I'm sure that if I find something along the way that I need an answer to, I can get it because it's there. You know, I got into the coaching program as well. So I knew I had resources at the ready if I needed it. And I just knew it was the right thing to do. I mean, like I said, I've known in the back of my mind for a long time, I need to be investing in apartments, not single family homes, you know? So it just, like I said, it's kind of the security blanket, right? It took away one of those fears of what if I screw up? Like you said, you know, what if I make a mistake, you know? So it was having everything laid out for me.
So I want to talk about. I want to play devil's advocate. I want to imagine the questions that listeners are having right now, Gary, and one of them is going to be, well, how in the world, you're out in California, how in the world are you managing a property out in Iowa? And so I know that's a question somebody has right now. How would you answer that one, Gary?
You have to build the team. And I learned that early on because I had bought some single family homes in Las Vegas. So I already knew you have to have the proper team in place to be able to go outside. You can't do it on your own, and nor should anyone try. I mean, you're just setting yourself up for disaster if you don't build a team around what you're trying to do. And it's not hard. It's not hard to do. I mean, the people are out there. People want your business, and they'll manage these properties for you. All you have to do is manage the manager. And you know, you build your team, you know, whether it be an attorney, you know, well, for me, it's attorney, a handyman or a group that can fix things, and a management company, and then a realtor if you really go down that path. But those are really the four that you just got to research, find the right people in the area, and you should be able to tackle any area without any problems at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I love the fact that you're doing it, whatever that is, 1,500 miles away from you, because no matter how strong the temptation may be for you to go check on that property, you cannot get in your car this weekend and go hop over and check it out. That's just not an option. You're forced to you got to manage it like a business now.
Yeah, definitely. I did take a trip out to the property during the inspection, but
Sure.
That was the one and only trip. And I will say that Sioux City is a little hard to get to from California. There's no direct flights, so it was a bit of a flight. I was doing the planes, trains, and automobiles on that one.
All right. So here's another question that people are going to have. So how did you find this deal? How did you find this deal, Gary?
So as you know, within the program, I'm in the plug and play aspect of it as well. But so we have the postcards going, but you know, funny enough, it really didn't come from that. It was going through the exercise that we went through in the boot camp, where you go onto LoopNet, where all the deals go to die, and really you're just trying to harvest that contact with the right broker. And you know, from what I was trying to do, I mean, obviously, I'd love to mine my own deals by getting a postcard through it, but this deal was actually through going through LoopNet on another deal and just working that broker, working the script, you know, building that rapport with that broker to the point where they got back and I got brokers all over calling me now with deals. So, and when you could tell them, hey, I've closed a deal, more brokers are, now they really want to talk to you. Now they're bringing you the pocket listings that no one's seen. I actually just got a call yesterday from a guy for 43 units in Sioux City that he has. I haven't reached out to anybody else. You're the guy. So I'm like, let's write a contract. Let's go. So it's just making that.
That's a great opportunity for you. You've got the team. You've assembled the team, and you've got the credibility. Now it's just throw more build property around the team at this point, right?
Yep. That's exactly the plan. That's what my goal right now. I actually sat down and wrote my goals for the first time in my life. Really, again, back to the coaching side aspect and some of the stuff that you preach, and books that I've read too here recently. Just getting those goals in place and getting them written down. But my goal this year is to hit 150 units, multifamily. And
this calendar year, is that right?
Yeah, this calendar year. Well, I want to be net 150 units, and we've got 55. Obviously, we just closed in November at the end of 2020. And again, with the two deals that I've got in the pipeline right now with brokers, I might hit that the first quarter. So it's happening. I'm gonna have to readjust the goal. So.
I think you need a 10x personally. I think you need to go for 550. I think you need to go for 550, Gary.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You're going to hit 150 in the next 60 days. You could very well do that.
Right. Well, again, back to the fear and the limiting beliefs. My mind is still thinking, well, 150 is a lot of units. And like you said, 10x it. There's no reason. Dream big, and then hey, if you shoot for the moon and hit the lamppost on the street lamp, then hey, you've done a good job.
Well, precisely. Okay, so let's talk about this property. Did it need? What was the condition? Was it an empty building? Was it stable? What kind of situation was this property when you bought into it?
So it was actually a pretty stable property. It was running about 5% vacant. So it was actually, which probably tells you a little bit about where the rents are at, and it needs some work. I mean, it's a C- building in a C+ area, and on the cusp of a B- area that's downtown. Mm. So it's a perfect property, and it needs some work. And what we're doing is as we turn the units, we're actually revamping them so that we penetrate the market at a much higher rate. Because right now, as is, the rents were about $495, and we're redoing the rents at $525 as they come in the door. That's market for the building as it sits, but we believe we can hit $595 a unit by putting in about anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 per unit, depending on which unit it is. So I ran the numbers on that, and it's a no-brainer. At the end of the day, the value that we're going to add at an 8 cap, it's definitely going to be a good deal. So back to some of the repairs that are needed. I mean, most of it's cosmetic in the units. There were some pipes that had some leaks and things like that. It's a much older building, but we just laid it all out, and with my experience in construction, was able to lay everything out, budget it, and I actually rolled a lot of those costs that we projected into the actual loan that we got. So the bank is financing $185,000 of those repair costs that I got, and then I got the seller to finance or kick back $25,000 into the deal. So part of my agreement with them. So it worked out well. Nice work.
So basically, your role has been what I call asset management. You have this strategy. Here's what I want to accomplish. You put together the plan. And then your property manager, are they both doing the management and doing the improvement, or do you have a separate group doing the improvement of the units, the rehabs?
So it's interesting. I don't know how much time you have, but the way I like to say it is this property was poorly managed. So the owner was not managing the property manager very well. The expenses were running over 60%. It was closer to 65%. So I immediately came in, and we sat down with the management team and said, look, I'm interviewing other people, and I need the expenses to be, less than 50% period, because it's all bills paid. And we ended up getting it down to where they were at 55%, and our costs right now are running 52%. So we immediately got the NOI up from that. So again, it's managing the manager, like you said, asset management. That's all I'm really doing is I set out the expectation, and this is what we're going to do. And then as far as the repairs, they have an on-site. They have not an on-site, but they have a management team, a repair team, maintenance team within the management company, and that's kind of what they were being allowed to do by the last owner, was just send the bill, you know. And I said, okay, look, anything and everything we're going to do, I need a proposal from you, just as I would a general contractor, and then we're going to compare. So they're bringing in general contractors and getting me pricing, and then getting 2 to 3 bids in each one, and then I'm allowing them to bid the work that they want to do, and we're setting a price before the work starts so that we come to an agreement on what needs to be done and what the cost is going to be. But obviously, I'm carrying a contingency on my side because you never know what you're going to get into until you get into it. But we're keeping a contingency on our side, so it's kind of both ways. For the most part, we're going through and we're revamping all the commercial, the common spaces. So we're putting in new flooring, new lighting, because again, we're trying to change the whole clientele that's there. So we're trying to go from 525 to 595, and with that jump, the biggest thing we're going to do is really make it feel warm and welcome and secure when you walk into the building, which is missing right now. And their team it's probably a little bit more for them to do. It's a little too much for them to do. So we are getting contractors for that work. And again, management companies doing it all. I just give the review and the final approval.
Yeah, you give the vision, you make the decisions, and you approve, and they execute, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. So you're well on your way. This is the thing. You're well on your way on this 55-unit property. You've got a team you've assembled in place. You are now you've known as you're the man about town, about Sioux City, Iowa, as far as the apartment guy, at least in some of the broker circles there. And you're getting unsolicited calls from brokers who are bringing you more deals. This is all good. Yep. And so now you got people listening, Gary, to this podcast that have, maybe never done an apartment deal. Maybe they've never even bought a rental house. Maybe they've never done any kind of investment real estate. Having gone through this process, what's the single most important lesson learned that you would share with somebody who's, where you were maybe 6 months ago trying to get started?
I think it really comes down to 2 things for me. I don't know that I could put it just in one. One, the first and foremost is take action. You can't do anything if you're just sitting still. Nothing's going to happen. I mean, I coach Little League baseball and football and whatnot, and I've told the kids again and again, if you go in the batter's box and you don't swing, you're never going to hit the ball. So you got to swing the bat. So you got to take action. That's first and foremost for me. And then the other one would be trust the numbers. It really is that simple. If the numbers work, it's a deal. And you don't have to worry about the money side, because I think what happens with a lot of people is they really worry about, okay, what if I get the fish on the hook? What do I do then? Because I don't have the money. And the numbers work. The deal will find the money. I mean, the money will come to you. I mean, whether it's a partner or financing or what have you, you don't have to worry about that side of it. The deal will get done. If it's a deal, it's going to work. So
that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah. All right. And Gary, I'm really excited for you. Matter of fact, I am telling this 150 target. No. That's beginner stuff at this point. So I like 550 for you. I think that's easy. Just add a 0 to it. And talking about your goal setting, I tell you what, you put that on your goal sheet, all of a sudden you'll find your brain figuring out, oh yeah, I just need to do whatever, twice as big of deals and half as many.
Right.
It's that straight. You've got the team. You got everything set up for you right now. You get the team.
Right.
Gary, I want to congratulate. I'm so proud of you, and it's just been a very quick start for you, getting going. You got a winning deal out here. Started on a 55 unit. You're on your way to 550. There's that number again, the 550, and look forward to interviewing you on more of your successes. So I tell you what, I want to thank you so much for sharing so freely with everybody. It's going to help a lot of people who are trying to decide to get started or maybe having the same fears you have. So thank you so much for freely sharing it today, Gary.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, our pleasure. So, all right, so now you got your marching orders. There's Gary Wallace, first deal, 55 units. Now, your first deal doesn't have to be 55 units. How about 5 units? Just get started. Pull the trigger, take action. That's straightforward. Do not worry about the money. Just let the math do itself and get yourself started. So this is Lance Edwards. Until our next episode of Greenlight REI, go make yourself a prosperous lifestyle. And by the way, if you want to get a copy of the book that Gary's referring to, How to Make Big Money in Small Apartments, which launched, take a picture of this man, launched this real estate legend right here, Mr. Gary Wallace, into his real estate business. You can get the book, go to freeapartmentsbook.com, freeapartmentsbook.com. Book's free, and I just ask you to pay $6 shipping and handling. All right, until next time, everyone take care. Bye-bye. See you, Gary.
See you, Lance. Thanks.
You've been listening to Interview with the Experts with Lance Edwards. Let us now blatantly and shamelessly bribe you toward creating your own real estate lifestyle by offering you a whole bunch of free stuff. Go to greenlightreinvesting.com and get you some free stuff and this session's show notes. That's greenlightreinvesting.com.